Hey everybody, I got this year's deciduous, sort of the fall seasonal from Trillium, and it is what they call an Imperial Brown Ale, 7.5%, not super Imperial. Last year the deciduous was an Imperial Red Ale, but same hops and a lot of the same malts. This one there's just a few more brown malts, Carafa and stuff in there. And they don't say specifically that it was dry hopped, so I'm going to assume it wasn't, but they did use Centennial and Columbus. And Centennial being, a little bit more of an IPA hop. And they mentioned things about some sort of piney aroma, so I'm going to guess there's, going to be some Centennial character that they very much intended. It's not going to be like their Pot and Kettle, which only had Columbus and there wasn't much hop character going on. This was canned 5 days ago. I've been in the fridge ever since, and I noticed that when Trillium beers sit in the fridge, they get a little bit squishy, and it seems like the carbonation might be a teeny bit lower than when I just get it fresh from the brewery. So we'll see what happens with this one. That's one thing I've noticed with Trillium beers is their carbonation is not quite as strong, consistent, and the head retention off it isn't that great, at least from the cans. And that is a nice murky brown. Not, by some people's standards, the most beautiful beer, but it looks pretty cool, actually. And it looks like you actually threw some like cold brew, or not cold brew, but French press, murky French press coffee into a red ale or something. And it's, pretty hazy. I mean, I can tell there aren't any roasted malts in there. It's not too black. It's just like a ruby brown, kind of matte, with a matte finish sort of look to it. And it looks pretty nice, though I poured it pretty hard in here. It smells surprisingly nice to me. The hop aroma is still strong. I wonder if they did dry hop this, or lightly dry hop it, or just use lots of late hops, because I get a lot of fruitiness, but maybe it's just a combination of really fresh Centennial and that grapefruity piney qualities with some of the slightly red berry, sweeter malts in this beer. Because I'm not getting a lot of nutty brown ale aromas. It's not a very deep dark. It's not chocolatey in the aroma. But that all might change. It's more like a red berry kind of red grape aroma I'm getting, actually. And just a very, very lightly piney, maybe, I think they mentioned marmalade. That's a good way to say it. It's like jammy, citrus and berry jam aroma is what I'm getting. But I mean, not sour or anything. So we'll see if it changes in the taste. Wow. I'm still getting a lot of fruitiness. It's pretty nice. It's very cold right now, this can. In the finish now I'm noticing a little bit of maybe mapley brown sugar flavors, a little bit, something like that, but not really sweet brown sugar or molasses or too nutty. I guess now I'm getting a very light roasted hazelnut in the finish. And this works pretty surprisingly well. Usually I don't like hoppy brown ales, but the Trillium way of doing it is pretty pleasant. And maybe I've never had a hoppy brown ale that was this fresh, and I like it because the hops it's not very bitter, in my opinion, just after one sip. And it's not too piney. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's really nice. Alcohol burn isn't too much. And the hops aren't as big as in their, pale ales, IPAs and such, but they're a big aspect of this beer, definitely. And the Centennial really works well with the darker malt. I've had some mosaic beers where they make them a little bit darker to make the red berry sort of flavors come out quite a bit. And I haven't been as much of a fan of those ones, but this one they're really restrained. They're not there's no roasted malt in this. It's very dry. That's probably why I like it, because when it's sweet and it's roasty and it's bitter, that's just kind of too much for me. But this one is pretty dry, and the malts are staying on the kind of lighter brown toasted side. It's pretty nice. I get maybe there's sort of a grape nut sort of cereal toast thing happening in there. It's a little bit more than Honey Nut Cheerios, like I often use to describe the malt flavor in IPAs. But it's like brisk, spicy berry. That's a lot of the flavor I get. With a little bit of a lingering sweet orange peel. And yeah, and the finish, you get some nuttiness, but it's not anything like a sweet nut brown ale or something like that. And I'm enjoying it surprisingly a lot. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that this wasn't the style, not my favorite kind of style, but this is a pretty good beer and somewhat unique, though it is very hop forward. So people, if you're looking for a sweeter, decadent, chocolatey, nutty brown ale, this isn't really that. But it's pretty good. I might even give it like a 83, 84, even 80, 85. It might be my favorite brown ale, even though it doesn't even, describing as that is not even clear. It's just because it looks brown, but if it weren't as hazy, this would probably be more of an amber. And look, if there's no yeast in this, it might even look like some old-fashioned amber IPAs. But it's definitely good if you like the hoppier. And if you like Trillium IPAs, I would recommend this beer. It's don't be scared away by the brown ale moniker. So yeah, 82, 83, 6 bags of popcorn with a little bit of maple sugar shaken on top because it's brown. Bye.